How's it going, gamer? You got Hands here, and today in Dauntless we're going over a pretty epic sword build for Blaze Escalation. Hey, but it'll work anywhere in the game, I guarantee you, because I've thrown down some 3-minute sub heroic solos with this bad boy. We're utilizing Iceborn for some really good self heals, because hey, let's admit it, Blaze Escalation is a little tough right now until we get used to all these moves and all the new behemoth stuff. We'll also be using Pangars Shine Lantern, which is pretty crazy. As you can see, it does great damage over time. I believe it's 960 damage over a 12-second period. But remember, it's more damage against the Blaze Behemoth. And as you just saw right there, don't forget to get Lady's Lux Barrage amp in there, because man, it does some crazy damage when those fireballs come flying from the ceiling right onto the Behemoth, as you just saw. And don't forget, gamer, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the recent updates and patch notes, but a lot of weapons got a lot of damage changes, some nerfs, some boosts, and the sword definitely got a buff when it comes to damage. Almost all sectors of it have increased damage to a certain degree, and in this build we're using repeating elements combined with the Whistling Blade mod that reduces the stamina cost of repeating elements by 25%, and each repeating element's attack gains 5% attack speed up to 30% until the combo ends. So that's just straight fast damage. And it recharges our lantern really fast, so we're able to spam that frost pillar a lot and get a lot of good damage down. So turn on your system, grab your sword, and let's get ready. Hey, what's up there, gamers? So I'm super excited to show you this Blaze Escalation sword build. Man, I've been soloing Blaze Escalation, the harder difficulty one, by myself and getting all the way to Togoro or Tugadoro, however you say his name. And you know, it definitely helps a build like this because it's all based with frost damage and it has Iceborn, so it really helps you stay alive. You know, a lot of people stray away from Iceborn because yeah, you could put other stronger builds, but hey man, Blaze Escalation is pretty tough for a lot of us right now, and we definitely need a little bit of help just so we can get some practice to go fight the big old gorilla, you know, so we can actually get his parts and armors and weapons. So here we have another build for Blaze Escalation, or it'll work in any Blaze or any neutral or shoot any other behemoth in the game. I've tried it in heroic plus solos, and I always get like 3-minute sub kills, sometimes 4. So hey, this build is effective. It has the raw damage, it has what it needs to sustain, you know, a good build to destroy the behemoth. So let's hop into this, guys. First, we're gonna need Boreus Sword, the Onus of Boreus. That has a +3 conditioning cell in it, and we're gonna work with that in this build and definitely make it doable. And what it has for its down here in the bottom buff, it's they changed these guys, remember, so y'all have to reread all your weapons because they changed how they activate their specials depending on what weapon type they are. You know, Boreus creates frost sprites. So what we're getting at here is you continually generate frost sprites that grant your next attack +60% damage and minor frost damage. But that's only in your special, so remember that. But that's still great. That's some good extra free damage. And like I said, that has a +3 conditioning. We're gonna put a +3 overpower and a +3 Iceborn. And right now, guys, the swords are pretty much meta because a lot of weapons got nerfed, a lot of weapons did get buffs, but swords got a major damage buff. And right here we're using Avenging Overdrive because it's great, it increases our attack speed and causes attacks to deal AoE damage. And you can parry. So if a behemoth is coming at you or you think you can't dodge it, just parry that bad boy and you'll knock him for some damage and you can continue to hit him. We're using Whistling Blade because like I said, it even got buffed too with damage. That reduces the stamina cost of repeating elements by 25%, and each repeating element's attack grants +5% attack speed up to 30 until the combo ends. So the build is based around using repeating elements combos. So check your combo list and the move list for your weapon so you can know what I'm talking about, or you can see in my video. Next, we're using Drask's helmet, and that has a +3 etheric tument, and we're gonna put a +3 Rage Hunter cell in there. And for the chest piece, that's Koshai's chest piece, the Mantle of Thorns, that has a +3 Predator, and we're gonna put a +3 Conduit. And for the hands, we're using Nasher's Grips, that has a +3 Rage Hunter, and we're putting a +3 Overpower cell in there. And then for the feet, we're using Boreus's feet, Boreal March, because that has Iceborn, so we can finish off and get our +6 Iceborn and get that nice. And down here, we're putting a +3 Predator. And also, which makes a huge difference in this build and a lot of builds that are going into Blaze Escalation, is Pangars Shine. because it creates a huge frost pillar that does crazy frost AoE damage, and it's 960 frost damage over a 12-second period. But we're going to be using our build so much, and you're going to be getting so much attacks in with it, with the repeating elements combo, and the way our build is made, you're going to be recharging your lantern, so you're going to be throwing those ice fields everywhere on the ground, and it is so awesome. You just see damage numbers flying around. It gets a little crazy because there's so much going on, but you know when you're kicking butt when that behemoth is just laying down and there's damages just throwing everywhere. So we're going to put a +3 conduit cell in there. And hey, don't forget, if you can afford it, this is some awesome extra damage and recharge. I like to use a soul tonic because it increases the stagger damage, so the behemoth can stay on the ground, so we can utilize our overpower cell, and we can keep spamming our repeating elements combo for maximum damage. And they'll also be laying in that ice field, just taking repeating damage over time. Frenzy tonic here, that's great free damage, you know, just by taking a tonic. Yes, you have to purchase it, but you know what I mean. It's a lot of extra damage, and then a lot of extra attack speed from blitz tonics. So those are my suggestions for tonics. And all in all, gamer, we have a +6 conduit, which makes our attack speed go up 15% for us and all slayers. Iceborn, when we're under 50 health, we take 30 decreased percent damage, and we have an 8% lifesteal. So that's really good. So that helps you not die in this difficult time of Blaze Escalation. Overpower, that's very significant damage cell. When they're staggered, which they will be, we'll be doing a +60% damage. And then Predator, yeah, I know it's Predator, but it takes practice. You get a +35% damage if you don't get hit for 15 seconds. And when the behemoth's enraged, we'll be pumping out another 40% damage. So that is dope. Damage stacks, damage stacks. Etheric Tument is going to help us recharge Pangar and Shine, so we can keep up that frost pillar on the ground, so we can have some great damage over time ticks. And then Conditioning, that's +15 stamina regeneration, and that's coming from the sword, and that is fine, because we're going to be doing a lot of consistent swinging of the sword because the build is so good. You're going to be just trying to spam your combo, and you'll be losing a lot of stamina. So this is really helpful just to keep up the DPS. And all in all, gamer, I think this is a great build. Like I said, I've been soloing the difficult escalation Blaze. I've gotten to the big ugly gorilla, and I've kicked his butt a few times, but I haven't done a perfect battle enough to share a video, but I've still got him pretty good. And this is a really strong build, and is very effective, and I hope you enjoy it. Alright, gamer, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoy this build because it's pretty dope, and it really helps out in Blaze Escalation. It's pretty hard, but if you just keep practicing, you'll get used to all the maneuvers of the behemoth and utilize builds like these perfectly, and not even get hit and kill some of the hardest behemoths in less than 3 minutes. That's a guarantee. And hey, don't forget to stay up to date and a lot of my posts that I do before videos, and follow me on Instagram and on Twitter on the same handle, HndsDwnThBest Gaming. And hey guys, I super appreciate all of y'all, all y'all's comments, all y'all's inspiration. Y'all make me want to work harder on these builds and do it even more. So if you have any suggestions on any other builds, let me know, guys, alright, because I'm here for you. This is Hands out.